Welcome back to Medrash U'Maisa, sharing a story connected to the Parsha. And as I mentioned, even though the Parshas in Eretz Yisroel and Chutz La'aretz diverged for another few weeks, the stories apply always, especially this week where the story has to do with Shmitta and Parshas Behar, but it's Shmitta for all of us this year. Rebbe of Belz managed to escape from Europe through the claws of the Nazis who had a manhunt out for him, and he settled in Tel Aviv. The year was Tafshin Daled. The next year, Tafshin He, was going to be Shmitta. So in Tafshin Daled, the Rebbe became very interested in the garden outside of his house. He asked his Mishamshim to buy all sorts of garden tools, to plant things, to take care of them. Throughout the year, he was really on top of the gardening, always checking what's done, making suggestions for what should be done. People were surprised. Back in Europe, he wasn't known as a gardening fan. And then it became clear to them when Shmitta came in. Just before Rosh Hashanah, he announced, and now we stop. And with that, he was truly able to feel that he was keeping the mitzvah of Shmitta in his land. Now, some people might think, okay, that was a technical way to fulfill the halacha. There was nothing emotional about it. But other stories show us that that wasn't true. When the Klausenberg Rebbe Zatzal landed in Eretz Yisroel, one of the first places he went was to visit Rebbe in Tel Aviv. Rebbe put before him some mazonos and some banana liqueur. And Rebbe spoke about how special this banana liqueur was because it was made from bananas of Eretz Yisroel. And then he asked that a tray be brought for the Klausenberg Rebbe of fruits that grew in Eretz Yisroel. And the discussion between them went on to speak about the shevach of the Parshas of Eretz Yisroel. This was not something new to the Klausenberg Rebbe. He mentioned that in his father's house, the Rebbe of Rudnik Zatzal, someone had once brought him a very special gift, a bottle of olive oil from Eretz Yisroel. That bottle was kept in a special cabinet with the silver and all the special heirlooms of the house. Shabbos in the morning, where they would eat eggs and onions with a little bit of oil, everyone would come with their plate before the Rebbe, and he would put on there one drop of the olive oil of Eretz Yisroel. Shmitta, while being a time that we step back from the avoda, from the working of the land, is also a time to really appreciate the Parshas of Eretz Yisroel, the gift of Eretz Yisroel, and the fact that the fruits of Eretz Yisroel are so connected to us and to the land. I'll finish with something that I heard from Rebbe Shapiro Zatzal. He said he heard from a very good source of someone who was visiting the Chofetz Chaim. The Chofetz Chaim got a letter, he opened it up, and he read it, and he started to sing and dance. And they asked him what was in the letter. He said, this was a friend of mine who visited Eretz Yisroel, and he wrote to me that he went to the shuk, and he saw, I believe it was 13 types of fruits and vegetables. He says that means that the land is waking up and producing fruits for Am Yisrael. Chazal said, "Ein lecha ketz megula mizeh." There is no more revealed sign of the coming of the end of days than when the land will awaken and give its fruits to Am Yisrael. Now, Baruch Hashem, that's continued, and you can go into the shuk and see all sorts of fruits and vegetables. Shmitta is not just a time of what we don't do. Shmitta is also a time in which those special peros are la'ochla, to eat them, to appreciate them, and to continue that appreciation on throughout the years that aren't Shmitta as well. Everybody have a wonderful Shabbos, meaning the Shabbos, the seventh day of the week, and a wonderful Shabbos, the Shabbos of Shmitta.